Good afternoon, Francis.
Hi Veris, how are you?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for agreeing to talk to me this afternoon.
Oh, you're welcome.
Look, I understand that you believe that most of us have control over the state of our health and well-being. Would you like to just explain a little bit about what you think there?
Absolutely. Look, apart from things like accidental injury and infections, the vast majority of what goes wrong for us as people comes as a symptom of our lifestyle. So we do things in ways that have us become ill. They're basically outcomes. So things like we try and sort of sleep short at night to get more done, which will reduce our ability to deal with sort of infections and stuff like that. And all sorts of things. It's sort of being dehydrated has a huge effect. Low levels of activity, and I don't mean exercise, I mean simple activity. So it's sort of finding what you love and going and doing it, whether that's dancing or surfing, or for some people that is running or jogging.
What do you think are the major diseases that we face today that we have much more control over as far as lifestyle goes?
Oh look, I'd say the big four would be arthritis, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease and osteoporosis.
Okay, would you like to talk a little bit more about those? Particularly diabetes type 2, I think, because that's very topical at the moment.
Okay, type 2 diabetes is really a symptom that follows causes by several years, so it's very misunderstood by people. It's because of a chronically high blood sugar, and because your blood sugar is high, your insulin's high, and eventually your cells become resistant to that insulin. Now, the things that make your blood sugar high are high levels of refined foods, low levels of activity, even being tired causes your blood sugar to be raised. Now that happens over a period of years. People can be what's called insulin resistant before they become diabetic, and that can take place over a period of sort of 6 to 10 or even 15 years for some people. And before you actually start getting the byproducts of diabetes, almost all of those can be mediated by changes of lifestyle.
Okay, and what about osteoporosis, Francis?
Osteoporosis is a good one because it's so misunderstood. Almost everyone believes that osteoporosis comes from not having enough calcium in your diet. And look, there's places in the world where people have less than 150 milligrams a day of calcium in their diet, and there's almost no signs of osteoporosis in those communities. What happens is we eat refined foods, fats, sugars, refined carbohydrates that actually cause our body to become acidic. Now, the chemical that's most available to our body to bring our blood pH back up a little is calcium, so it releases calcium from your bones. So the big issue is actually the excretion of calcium in our urine rather than the levels of calcium in our diet. So if we can teach people to avoid foods that cause that calcium excretion and to do more weight-bearing exercise, we can actually almost completely avoid most versions of osteoporosis.
Okay, what are the major foods that do leach calcium from the body?
Okay.
Apart from the refined carbohydrates, etc., and the acidic state that can sometimes result from that.
Okay. The big ones to my mind would be 100 years ago, the average person got less than a kilo of sugar per year. We're now looking at around 20 kilos of sugar per year in their diet. That has a huge effect on your body. Refined fats also have a big effect on your body. Now, interestingly enough, the issue is not so much those foods as that they displace alkaline foods. So when people are eating a lot of refined products, they're not eating a lot of foliage plants, so things like broccoli and cabbage and beetroot, and that tends to get displaced from our diet by the refined products.
Okay, and would you agree that caffeine and alcohol also do, just by increasing urine and causing the loss of calcium that way? Because they're very, very popular social drugs in our culture, of course.
They do, yes. They do have a large impact, but it's, to my mind, while they're important, it's an overall balance that we need to help people to achieve. I wouldn't say to anyone, stop drinking coffee or stop drinking alcohol. It's sort of, I tend to encourage people to look at constructing a lifestyle that works for them, that will have them healthy and active into their 70s and 80s.
Okay, and that's obviously what we all want, not only to live longer, but to do so in a very healthy way.
Yes.
Francis, thank you very much for talking with me today.
Thank you, you're welcome.
Thank you.